What is up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat and welcome to Faster Than Fridays here at the Nerd Castle. We are going to be playing Faster Than Light. Once again, a fully unedited run. Let's go to new game. I'm going to be playing the Kestrel one more time. For those of you that don't know what I do in this series, we play all the way through until I die. If you want your name to be added to the crew down here, go ahead and comment down below and I'll try and make a list and we'll start naming the crewmen after different people. I'm playing the Kestrel again this week because, frankly, I'm not that good at the game. I've still never won it. I've been playing it like crazy, still can't pull out a win. I've been trying non-stop, but to no avail. Next week, we'll probably play around with the NG ship, but for now, let's be on our way. I think I'm going to go for this distress signal nice and early. Now, if you don't know how this works, I don't tend to read the flavor text as we play through, just because it slows us down too much. We find, alien spiders. So basically, there's a space station being overrun by alien spiders. We are going to say, go to hell, crew, because that is a very, very bad event if you don't have enough crew to actually solve it. And we don't. We only have 3 guys. We have a skeleton crew. So going to fight giant spiders, we're just going to squeal and run away. Super, super quickly. Looks like they're trying to sell us slaves now, so let's go ahead and jump in. He's got a super shield, which kind of blows, but we'll do our best. Let me go ahead and reallocate the power from our medbay over to our engine. And we've already taken some damage, unfortunately. Let me put the crew where they need to be, too. I've actually made a mistake here very, very early. Let's go ahead and have everybody go where they need to be. We're going to open fire with everything we have because this shield needs to go the hell away. Yeah, we're going to take some considerable damage. I really, really, really hate super shield enemies in the first zone. They're one of my major pet peeves. I don't think super shields should spawn in the first zone. I don't see any reason for it. It's basically guaranteed damage. But, you know, that's why they don't hire me to make these decisions. We are going to be taking every single shot that they fire at us right now, simply because our pilot is out. There we go, it's back on. It's like a very, very bad oven. The pilot is out, or a very bad stove, I apologize. Bad metaphor is bad. Let's go ahead and see if we can't finish them off with an Artemis because they're trying to be a bunch of cowards and jump out now that they've lost the fight. Down they go, 19 scrap and some fuel, some parts. Let's go ahead and repair our med bay. As soon as that's back up and running, we will go to the next locality. Take Josie over here. Jose, however you want to pronounce it. I prefer to call him Josie because it's funnier. And then we'll go out... God, this zone is a mess. I guess we'll try and hit all of these down here before we jump out. Hopefully they don't force us through that nebula. If they do, I shall render a mighty middle finger to whoever designed this zone. Let's go ahead and... yeah, we'll attack this thing because we honestly really, really need the scrap. My big rule when I play this game personally is if I don't get 100 scrap in the first zone, I quit. I restart right there. Because this game is very, very top heavy in that if you don't succeed early on, your chances of succeeding later on go down extensively. I mean, if you have a bad first couple zones, there's almost no way to recover from it. Some people will argue against that, but me being the pessimist that I am, that's just the way that I run my ship. Let's finish this guy off. We've already knocked out his weapons. In the earlier zones, you may notice that I always try to fire on weapons before anything else. That's because weapons are pretty much all that the enemy... What am I doing here? Fire! Fire the purple lasers! Let's get Mace Windu on these guys. Anyways, as I was saying, I always tend to target the weapons earlier on because they don't really have enough shields to focus on. Engines, weapons seem to be the really major thing you want to knock out in the earlier zones just to avoid taking any extra damage. Let's finish them off. Hopefully these shots all land. There they are. Okay, so we've killed them off. We're going to get ourselves 9 scrap, which is god-awful. And we've got maps to the surrounding area, though. That's actually really, really good because now we know what's in all these areas. For example, we know not to jump there because there's an asteroid field. We know not to go over here because there's other problems. We know that we can go to these locations and get into a fight, so that's what we're going to do. Because as you can see, that number is nowhere near 100. Let's go ahead and intervene to defend this outpost here that's being attacked. It looks like they've got a beam drone, which really, really sucks. Let's go ahead and I'm going to go against my normal MO. Actually, no, let's go straight for their weapons. Their beam drone can't do anything if we knock out their weapons nice and early. So let's fire a big volley right out front and hope that it lands us what we want. And there it is. So we've managed to knock out their weapons, which is really going to render the need to get rid of that beam drone kind of moot. So let's go ahead and continue targeting their weapons because that beam drone has nothing with which to threaten us. He is very, very ineffective. Right now, as a drone, you know, he's not really spitting mad game. his spitting game that is quite docile. A few more lasers and we should be done with this job. Sometimes I wish there was a speed up option because there are very clearly moments in this game where you've like instantaneously won. There's nothing the enemy can do, it's just gonna sit there and wait to die. Kind of an auto resolve like they have in like Total War, like a little bar down here where you're just like, alright, let's finish this thing. Alas, nothing exists, so 2 fuel, 2 missiles, and 10 scrap. The outpost we rescued gives us even more, very cool, so we're up to almost the double digits on missiles, we're almost at 20 fuel. We've got a little bit of extra scrap to play around with, which is very, very nice. I'm gonna hit this ring like this and try and go around. I don't know if we're gonna have the time, but we're gonna try. Let's see here, we have a mercenary ship that's offering to hire on with us. Instead, what does he have? He has like a fire... Okay, so he's got a fire weapon there. And I may actually make use of a tactic here. I don't know if I want to fight him or not. We need the scrap, definitely. So I sort of want to fight him. But he's got a fire beam, and he can knock out our shields. Let's fight him, because we've got enough hull to do so right now. We've got enough missiles to play around as well. So the first big volley, straight to the weapons as always. That right there is going to ignite certain aspects of our ship, but it does take a little while to fire on up. Not to be kind of wordy there, that's not really the pun that I was meaning to throw around, but if the enemy... Oh, I didn't want to fire another missile, damn. Well, I suppose I'll just take it. There it is, so we've knocked out the fire beam at the bare minimum. It ignites certain aspects of our ship. Definitely not fun to deal with. It means we have to flood all kinds of our corridors out into space, which the crew tends to be sort of unhappy about, being sucked out into the realm of space, so... Things to think about. Humans not really adapted for it. They do have those little woolly bear things, those little insects that can survive in the vacuum of space. We are not those. We do not accept surrender on this ship. This is a ship where we go for the throat, the throw-at, as it is colloquially said. See if maybe... Oh, never mind, we can't kill him with the next shot. Lasers away! But one more, his days are numbered. He's sitting there right now sweating because he knows it's not because jazzercise is going on. They don't have that pipe through the intercom, it's because the lasers is coming for that ass. And down they go. 13 scrap, that's why you never allow them to surrender, because when they surrender, you don't get as good of rewards. I mean, this game forces me to be a merciless bastard. There it is, we're at 74. Not quite where I'd like to be at right now, but we've got 4 zones left, so we should be able to recoup our losses. Next zone. This one's got purple swirlies in the background, and we get a message. Oh, never mind, it's because the store is here. What do I know about anything? Now we've got a hull laser, which can be a pretty cool weapon. A hull laser Mark II, actually. I don't have anything to sell, and all we have is this stuff on board, so we're actually not going to go for any of this. This will be... I like to max out my shields in the first zone, so while this is a very good store, and usually you'll tell me, or I will tell you to jump on weapons the first time you see them, and just save them in reserve for later, the Ion is a temptation, simply because of its rapid charge time. Let me have a look here. Let me have a look at my equipment really quickly. That thing's got a 12 charge time, so yeah, that Ion's actually kind of slow. Never mind, I don't want it anymore. Go away, Ion, no one loves you, especially... Not me. I love you the least of everybody, so you just don't want to be around me at all. Oh! I'm just angry at my blueness. Everybody likes blue stuff, but I like green stuff. I always like Luke Skywalker's lightsaber over everybody else's. If I had to choose one, I would choose Luke's. And obviously I'm going to follow that with a pause. Let's wait for this fight to be over because he doesn't really have anything to bring to bear against us either. It'd be kind of funny if somebody actually did bring a bear into this fight, like bears with jetpacks that they could fire through space. Like they actually brought it to bear against us. Be mildly, I don't know if that would be ironic if somebody brought a bear to bear against you, but I think it would be slightly humorous. Ooh, we missed our shot. What are you doing over here, man? I might cut your pay if you keep this up. Obviously their weapons can't get at us, but I don't want you to be missing shots. Like, it says they have drones. What kind of drones are they running? Like a repair drone, maybe? It's obviously not a boarding drone because they haven't fired it at us yet. The AI loves to fire boarding drones at you the moment it has an opening. Boarding drones are these nasty little chodes that they fire at you that bust a hole in your hull, and then they just run around wreaking havoc. They're basically those drones. They're basically... I was going to make a really, really crude metaphor right there. But basically, they're drones that just wreak havoc. They've got lasers, they've got spikes, they run around, they've got nasty bondage collars. They're just... There's nothing happy about them. They make everything worse. One more laser burst and we should be the hell out of here, but even better than that, we should be able to buy ourselves some new shields, which is something I've been looking forward to doing. And shazowie, down he goes. 15 scrap there, and we're actually like, oh, never mind, we helped the outpost, so we get a little bit of extra scrap. So we're sitting at 101 right now. This is going to be a very good zone for us. And so first things first, as always, extra shields. Let's go ahead and be on our way. And the rest of this should be pretty much a cakewalk for us. I think I'm going to have time to jump here, here, and then here, but I'm not sure. So let's jump here first, just to make sure. Let's see here. Yeah, sure, why not? It says we can rescue a store, but is it in the next sector? I think it is, so let's be on our way to the next sector since the quest doesn't appear to be here. This nebula could disrupt our shields, but we didn't get attacked, so we're good to go there. This zone was pretty beneficial to us. I'm happy about it. You can either jump into a nebula or a civilian sector. Obviously, I'm going to take the civilian sector. Let's get in there. Looks like the quest is down there to the south. That's a pretty long run, and that's going to put us right at odds with the rebels. Hopefully we can make it. Let's see what happens. Ooh, bad luck Chuck right here. This is not going to affect their ship at all because these ships do not have oxygen on them. That's going to be a major issue for us. So let's knock out these weapons really, really quickly. He's got double shields too, which is weird for Sector 2. That's not a normal thing. Let's go ahead and knock out his shields, I guess, with the first launch. I'm actually going to vent all of this out into space first, just so the moment that fire is on board, we don't have to deal with it. And it looks like we did a little bit of damage there. The shields aren't completely out as of yet, but I'm going to hold off on firing another burst while I can. I'm pretty happy with our tactical position right now relative to what they have going on. Let's hope this solar flare doesn't land anywhere vital. And it did. So bad luck right there. Unfortunate situation that knocked out our shields, which means it is even more imperative now for us to knock out that weapons deck. Oh, and there's actually fire over here as well. Let's go ahead and get these two gents on that fire since we can't really flood all that. That fire should actually be out since there's no oxygen. If you get these little marks, it means there's no oxygen whatsoever left. So I find it a little bit odd that the fire was able to survive for so long right there. Let's get everybody back to their quarters. I'm going to try and get some oxygen back. Actually, let's leave it for now until this flare lands. Let's take Reinhardt and put him back into the gunnery. And that's why we do it right there. That should get sucked straight out into space, which will be very, very nice. There it is. So let's close that off now. And the second that's got oxygen, we'll send somebody over there to repair it. Maybe our engines guy, since they can't fire at us anyways. Sorry, Josie. It's impolite for me not to use the personal tense here. And down they go. 16 scraps, some drone parts, and some missiles. We need to get the hell out of here. Let's see where this last flare lands. And unfortunately, it has landed in a very, very bad spot. Let's go ahead and get that fire put out. Hopefully they can get on that. Fires have the tendency to spread really, really rapidly. And then what we'll do is we'll actually have Jose get back in there. Oh, the fire spread. You see what I mean? It's spread already. We should have a few seconds to play with, though. Let's get him over here, and we'll try and repair that. We've got to jump. We got to jump right now. We can't take any more flares. Sometimes I wonder what the developers were thinking. And we've got a pirate here who's got missiles and all kinds of other stuff. A super shield. We're going to ignore him, actually, until we repair our ship. We just can't handle that fight right now. It's not something... I don't like walking away from fights, but we don't have a choice. We could definitely use the scrap, but our ship is in no shape to make kind of a rapid recovery right now. Let's disable the shields there, get the med bay back up, get everybody that's injured. Everybody that's got a boo-boo, we need them to go over to the med bay and get that boo-boo taken care of quickly. Put a band-aid on it, give it some love and kisses, and then we'll be nice and ready to roll. Jose's back into the engine room. Reinhardt is back in the gunnery, and I wish I could fire now, but unfortunately you don't have that option. Let's go down and do the quest, and then we're going to spend the rest of the time trying to outrun the blockade, I think. We're going to rescue the space dock here. Oh, turn the shields back on. Especially since they have a beam drone. Okay, so all they've got is a missile launcher here, so let's be rapid and knock them out with our Artemis. Our Artemis should have a quicker response time than theirs, but given the travel time... Oh, I stand corrected. Engines are now down, and we took the obligatory damage that you automatically get whenever you get hit by missiles. We missed our first couple shots, too, which raises the chances that that's probably going to be repaired. Yep, there it is. So we're going to have to waste some missiles on this one, unfortunately. Hopefully they'll stay in there and keep trying to repair it, and we'll just blast the living hell out of their crew. The other problem is because missiles only take 1 power, it means they can get back up and running much, much easier. There it is. Then again, it means it's easier to knock out too. So I guess it's the direction you look at it from. If we look top down, the problem isn't so bad. If we look bottom up, well, then the problem is depressing as always. This game is a heartbreaker. It really is. This game reminds me of my 9th grade girlfriend, just breaking hearts left and right. Put a couple more. Wow, we just cannot seem. I don't know what the dodge is on this thing, but we just cannot seem to land anything more than 1 laser at a time on him, and I'm not willing to lose any more missiles. I'll take it 1 laser at a time. I mean, we will do it that way. We will do it slow and loving if that's how the Rebel rigger wants it. I'd prefer to just bang, bang, bang this thing out as quickly as possible, but he doesn't want to seem to trip into the light that way. So there it is. And it looks like they've got a shop here with a glaive beam. God, we could really use a glaive beam. The glaive beam is incredible. Now there's an entire build that goes around this beam, and I'll explain it to you. If you have double burst lasers and a glaive beam, you're pretty much like War incarnate. There's not a whole lot of things in this game that are going to be intensely terrifying to you. You should do a pretty good job against just about anything they bring against you. We have nothing to sell. So in this case, the pike beam would be... I wouldn't mind the pike beam as a replacement, but once again, we don't even have the money for it. So maybe in this case, we'll buy a couple fuel and then just kind of bounce on out because there's nothing for them. I was hoping to get something a little better from them right there. Unfortunately, they've decided to disappoint me. You disappoint me, space station. They're like, yeah, we have to live up to your expectations. You're not my mom. Alright, so this guy's actually got a threatening weapon right there. I'm not sure what that is. I can only assume it's some kind of laser that's going to hurt like a bitch. We've missed every shot, so unfortunately we definitely got to put something downfield right... Really? We just missed everything on that go, which is very, very bad. And now we're about to lose our auto doors too. Which leads me to believe... God. Terrible, terrible luck for where that landed. Just the worst luck. The only plus side is, you know, they're dealing with fires and things too right now, and so yeah, it's actually spreading. There's no oxygen left, so that should be gone pretty soon. Come on. Be gone. There it is. Alright, so let's finish this ship off. Kind of a bad bout with RNG right there on our first couple shots. Actually, leave everything vented. Why not? Right back into the med bay, unfortunately, but it should drain out pretty quickly. Not a major issue. It looks like they've got a fire going in their cockpit, so I don't even feel too bad right now. There's a joke in there somewhere about fires in the cockpit. There's a joke there somewhere. 26 scrap, a missile, and some drone parts. Not bad. Not bad at all. We can clap our hands off, kind of dust them off on our pants, and be on our way. Unless they're covered in Cheeto dust. And then, in the interest of social interactions, you want to avoid... Oh god, let's jump! The sun is like, listen, I'm still here. You can't just have conversations. Let's see here. We've got a distress call. It's a station on fire. We can go rescue people, or we can try and help and put out the fire. Because I'm a risk taker, let's try and help. And it worked. So the survivors joins the crew, and we get 14 scrap. RNG in our favor right there. Nothing to complain about. Let's keep on jumping. And it looks like we've got some pirates here that want to take some of our scrap. We're going to say hell no, and we're actually going to scrap with them. It's not the scrap they were looking for, but it's definitely a scrap of a kind. A scrum of a sort. A fight of a form. I was actually surprised that I was like, I keep continuing this, and I'm pretty sure it's going to run out and make me look stupid. So I should probably stop here. I'm going to run out of alliteration. The big old tank of alliteration is going to run dry, and I'm going to be miserable. I'm just going to be like, well, that was hopeless. And I just kept on going. Let's finish him off really quickly. His weapons are already down. His weak weapons. Look at that thing. You should try and compensate more. Those weapons are not as large as I mean, our weapons, look at these things. These are weapons that incite terror. They cause the females to be like, hey, that's a mighty fine weapon on your ship there. Those weapons, not so much. And down his ship goes. That's what happens. That is what happens. Although I suppose down is kind of relative in space. Any direction could really be down. Let's go ahead and go to this distress call, see what event we pull out of the fire here. And it's a pirate ship. It's a trap. It's not a booby trap, though, so they didn't stoop to that level. They weren't hiding boobies from us, but let's fire some weapons at them. And we're going to take an ion blast and then a laser, but the laser's going to miss, and we also missed with our missile. That's going to be a mine launcher, which is going to suck. Luckily, they missed anything important, so it was pretty much ineffective. Their shields should be down very shortly if we could aim efficiently. What are you doing here, pal? What do I pay you for? He's almost gold rank, too, which is the really sad part. There it is. Alright, so now that everything's down, we can just kind of stay on the back end of this thing and hope that we don't have to use any more missiles. We're down to 5 missiles already. I like to keep my missiles up in the 8 to 9 region, just in case you get one of those really, really bad fights where you have to leave it on auto fire the whole time. Hopefully we'll find ourselves some new guns too before we get much further into this run. By sector 3 or 4, you really want to be able to get through level 2 to 3 shields. If you can't, the game is going to take a very, very dour turn for you. So hopefully we don't come across kind of a dearth of weapons. Nothing here, so yeah, that may be one of those. James Pomeroy. How come some people have last names and some people don't? Zemu. It's like the emu leader of Scientology or something. All hail Zemu. Well, we can do a little bit of repairing. Sure, let's repair a little bit. Come buy some missiles. I prefer to keep myself at like 100 scrap though, just to kind of upgrade. A scrap recovery arm might be nice, actually. Let's do that. Let's make an investment in our own future and buy a scrap recovery arm. Basically what that does is it means that we get 10% more scrap from here on out. Nothing to complain about. That is a really, really great mod, and there's no real downside to it other than the fact that it takes up a slot. I mean, but who cares? We're up against a single shield cloaker here, and one of the things I absolutely loathe is that you cannot charge your weapons when something is cloaked. Like, is it charging or is it aiming? Because I don't know. Where's that missile? They just teleport. Oh god, there's a bomb right there. Well, we're down to just our missiles now, so I'm gonna knock out their weapons, so that they can't do that again. Because that will make me very, very sad. And for now, we're just gonna kind of lay low while our weapons get repaired. Maybe get everybody over here. There we go. So his weapons are now broken. We've used up all the missiles that we previously earned. I wish that I got paid in missiles. That would be amazing. Get home from work and be like, well, here's 20 missiles. And then you could just like go rob an entire city. Just be like, listen, city. Everything that is yours is now mine. We managed to knock out his cloaker there. And so now we're just going to finish this thing off. We should be able to get him in the next burst unless he gets all dodgy. He gets all shifty on us. We won't be able to do it. Well, he got shifty on us. Weak. And with a final pa-choo-choo-choo. There it is. Down he goes. Little bit of scrap, a missile, and a drone part. And the outpost hails us and gives us a missile, a drone part, and 17 more scrap. Very cool. We've pretty much recovered from our investment over there. We're going to have to go straight for the exit, so let's go for it. Let's get on over into this nebula. And let's go to the next place. We've got a rock-controlled sector or NG. I'm going to go with NG because rock sectors suck. They use a lot of missiles. And rock units are just really, really difficult to break through. Over here, actually, this is a calm sector. We might also think about what we want to start doing with some of this scrap, but let's have a look out for maybe a store before we do that. I don't know if I want to go in the direction of weapons or anything else. Ew. So we've got a rebel fighter. They're going to teleport on board. Where they're going to teleport on board, we've got to decide. Let me send my Mantis over to help out with that, because we can't lose the cockpit right now. They should be able to take him out before anything horrible happens. The Artemis, oh my god, look how many missiles they have. This is going to be really, really ugly, I think. Let's try and knock out some shields with the first blast. Actually, we'll see how we end up here with the first Artemis launch. Okay, so shields are down to 1. Let's go ahead and knock out their weapons. Ew, 3 misses. How much worse could it get? Let's go ahead and knock out the weapons the hard way then. Oh my. They must have quite the talented Yeah, they've got to have a talented engineer on board because we are hosed. We are absolutely done for right now. So what we need to do is just jump out of this system. The fire is already taken. Let me go ahead and rotate people out, but we're gonna have to flood all of this. This is a fire that cannot be fought, unfortunately. And we have to really hope that a missile doesn't hit our med bay. Oh my god. This is definitely one of those bullshit encounters. Absolutely. Nothing you can do about it, it's just like you lose. The thing is, even jumping out, we're still, like, completely boned. Because if there's a ship right here, we're gonna die. And there it is. I can reject the offer, or we can pay our scrap and we can survive. So I'm gonna pay the scrap and survive a little bit longer. Bad run. Bad RNG right there. And that's one of the reasons that I've heard a lot of people who absolutely just loathe this game, because like a bad thing like that right there, this run is essentially over. There are going to be very few ways to recover from that. We've lost a huge chunk of scrap, a massive chunk of our hull, and now we've got to use every bit of scrap we've saved up to repair the hull. Big problem. We also don't have any of the ordnance we need, or any of the ordnance necessary to get through level 2 shields, level 3 shields. We have problems, guys. Big problems. The run was going well, and now it's just looking absolutely... well, I mean, it's looking bad. Let's finish off these repairs, and let's try and remain optimistic. There's no point to kind of throw in the towel just yet, but recovery is unlikely from here. Let's go ahead and get everybody back into position. The only way I could see myself maybe wrangling a win out of this is if we come upon somewhere where we can get teleporting pretty quick, and we recover that way. Now there's a store over there, but I think we're going to do some of these encounters first. Got a problem. God, you gotta be kidding me. Let's go ahead and jump into the fight there. What does he have? A bunch of nasty guns, and he can shoot down missiles too. Well then. Let's see if maybe we can spend our time knocking out his drones possibly so that we can launch missiles. But I feel like I've made yet again another mistake. Because they've got two mantises right there. Oh, never mind. They've decided to bail out on us. Alright, well, let's try and keep ourselves separate from... ooh, I was going to try and rescue that, but I guess not. Let's finish that fight off. 3 hits right there, knock out one of their weapons. That's also going to force them to do something with their crew. Realistically, they don't have a whole lot of ways to fight me, so we could just turn this into a tremendous battle of attrition where I whittle them down one shot at a time. I don't hate that. It's better than it could be, I guess. We could have absolutely nothing we could wrangle against them. And at this point, we may actually consider firing on their shields. I don't think they can get through our weapons I don't think they can actually get through our shields anyways. They've got really bad dodge. We're landing like every shot that we make here. Although knocking their shields down by 1 didn't lower it, so I guess they're operating at a little bit higher of a shield capacity than I had estimated. We may end up getting like a freebie weapon on one of these, which would be really cool. Alright, their shields are actually down now. Which means we're free to fire at other stuff. We have new targets to occupy our... ooh, we set off a fire too. I am so happy with myself right now. And down goes that NG ship. That's the ship we're going to be playing in the next episode, I think. 25 scrap. So there's a little bit of an extra bonus. Let's go ahead and get our doors repaired. Let's have a look at what we might upgrade with our ship, given the meager amount of scrap we have here. I think dodge might be a wise choice, although I think I saw a shop. So let's go see what's at the shop first, and we'll kind of design our strategy. You have to tailor-make your strategy in this game. This isn't one of those games that you come in with a pre-designed idea. You come into this game with like 4 or 5 different builds for each ship, and you pick the one that comes up as you're playing the game. Now, as of right now, we haven't necessarily had anything pop in to give us an inclination as to what our build is going to be. But, hopefully in the next couple fights, we will start getting some freebie weapons maybe, and we'll be able to start kind of creating a soldier build, or a weapons build, or a missiles build, or whatever our build is going to be for the remainder of the game. Everything's looking... Reassign, what's going on here? Not enough power for the Artemis? How do you figure? Okay, well, whatever. What did I power? It's making it so that I don't have... I'm pretty sure... Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Not going to look at it for too much longer. We're going to jump over to the store here. We're going to do a little loop, then go up and get to the exit. Let's see what the store has for us. Let's see what's in store. Terrible. A pike beam. A pike beam might be a reasonable decision at this point. Although, I will raise the issue... Well, that does leave us... Let's do it. Let's go for the pike beam. And that's going to kind of formulate our strategy from here on out. Let's have a look at the pipe beam, and we'll kind of talk about what it does. So, it requires 2 power, and it can cut rooms apart. I mean, that's what it does, is it cuts a swath across the not the building, but the ship. Since we've got a burst laser, we can knock out shields and then take a final shot with that, hopefully leveling their shields with 1 shot, maybe killing some people. We've also got missiles, but at this point, I want to look at our ship and figure out what it's going to take us to get to this weapon now, because we can't physically power it at the moment. The other option is to repair our ship, which I think we probably should do. So let's sit down, get ourselves back to green maybe. I'd also like to buy fuel, because I always run out of fuel. Every time I don't buy fuel, I run out of it, and then I just feel like the biggest dunce on earth. I'm like, well, put me at the kiddie table because I just did something stupid. Unless it's the kiddie table with actual cats. If it's the kiddie table with cats, you can put me there anytime you want. It looks like there is a distress signal and they need help. Let's ask if we can help. They decline our offer. Jerks. Racists, whatever we can call them. Let's go ahead and make a swoop-a-loop here. There's another store to be perused. But alas, we do not have any scrap with which to purchase things. Well, we just got a defense drone and some scrap for free. Looks like there was a derelict ship, which worked out in our favor, so maybe we may recover. Like I said, that's why I always include the addendum that, like, you can recover. Like, weird things happen all the time in this game. Sometimes it may feel like you're at wit's end and you're not gonna win. Stick in there, I promise you. Running these things out to the ends, you'll be surprised what sometimes comes down the pipe to help you out. He's got... I forget what beam that is. I think it's just a normal hull beam. Yeah, I think it's just a generic hull beam. So we're gonna continue just keeping fire on his weapons, as we've been doing the entire game. Now, I've had a couple people ask me since I did last week's episode what your order is on firing on things. We're not going to accept a surrender right there. Well, I always open on weapons if they have 1 shield or no shields. If I've only got my burst laser, if they have 2 shields, I'm more than likely to fire at their shields first with a missile, then go after their weapons, once I've knocked off one of their shields. If they've got 3 shields, I'm definitely going to fire everything I have at their shields first in a ditch attempt to knock them out completely. Now, what if you've got other strategies? Well, if they've got a lot of shields and you've got a lot of lasers, then shields aren't really a problem. At that point, typically the problem with your spec is that they've got missiles, in which case I would suggest firing on their weapons altogether in the first place anyways. If they're very, very dodgy and they're swooping around everything, I'd fire at their cockpit, because if the cockpit is knocked out, your dodge goes down to 0%. 24 scrap there. 1 missile, 1 fuel, 24 scrap. Not bad at all. Let's go ahead and do the full loop-de-loop here. And we may try and find a store later, because that store is kind of in a weird spot. I don't like where it's at. These guys are offering us a bribe, and I'm gonna take it. So we get 17 scrap, 1 drone part, and a missile. Nothing to really talk about right there. They're attacking somebody. They've got a lot of weapons. I don't like their build. They've got missiles that I have no way of countering. So we might as well just take the free stuff, essentially. An anti-personnel drone, 16 scrap. Well, at this point, there is the interesting point to raise that we could get a drone control and start using some of this stuff. I may keep the defense 1 for later and get rid of the anti-personnel. Anti-personnel will be nice if we don't get a teleport platform for later. I don't know, there's a lot of variables to think about right now. I think from this distress signal, we should be able to jump up there, but let's go to our ship. We're gonna upgrade our weapons by 1. And what that means is that I should be able to get rid of the Artemis for now, and then just use the pike beam. And I think that's gonna put us in a reasonably decent spot for the next couple fights at minimum. I don't necessarily love our loadout at the moment. I would love to have another burst laser and then the pike beams, but let's see here. There's a smoldering station. It's got a distress call. Sure, we can board it. We sent an away team to look, but there's nothing. The place is dead. Well then, I guess we'll just go to the exit. We will leave because you have forced me to. With your flames and your lack of treasure. You can trade fuel for 5 missiles? Yes. 1 fuel for 5 missiles is an incredible trade, and I'd be a fool not to take it. Now, if I end up running out of fuel in the next sector, I will instantaneously hate that decision, and I will kick myself repeatedly in the balls. But for now, no regrets. You know, you resist the urge to shout YOLO there. Actually, I don't, because I don't really use that phrase, so I'm not really going to resist it. Let's hit some of these other locations, and then we'll check out the store. If we have to backtrack, we will. 2 fuel, 2 missiles, and 20 free scrap. Very nice. Let's do... I think we've got 2 more jumps before they show up, so maybe go out to here, and then we'll do the distress signal. An asteroid field. Now, this is probably going to play to our favor, actually. Your initial thought in this case is to panic, although he does have a ton of missiles. This could be horrific, to be honest. Let's go ahead and open... Oh, don't open fire, actually. We gotta wait for the pike missile. Oh, God. So many explosions. Let's go ahead and flood all this. And hope that our shields aren't completely broken before anything else goes horribly wrong. Let's go ahead and break down everything with the laser. And right here, you're gonna see me kind of thumbing a lot. The pause. That's because we're trying to land hits here and do as much damage as we can. I think that'll do the most right there. There it is. And so that right there, my dear, dear friends, is why I like the pike beam. The pike beam, super sexy. Don't underestimate it. It will do work for you. Now, we just have to hope that our shields... Oh, God. So our shields actually are down, unfortunately. Now, on the plus side, that does mean we have a lot. Oh, we've also lost our ability. Ew. Okay, this could get rowdy. We could have problems here. However, they've got problems too, so things to think about. We don't want to fire just yet, so actually let me turn off auto fire because that would be a tremendous mistake right now. Now we've just got to wait it out and hope that we get another burst off. Okay, so burst laser's ready to go. So let's fire it. Now that their shields are down, pike beam's gonna fire where it was going in the first place. They're powering up their FTL, and we're not gonna take it because we're about to kill them anyway, so why would we? I need everyone on board to fix the shields, like right now. 41 scrap is nice. Actually, you get in there and fix that too. Oh my God. The worst luck ever. Sometimes I feel like the game is just cheating like crazy, picking things that like cannot get hit at a pivotal moment. Well, as soon as the FTL is up, assuming the engines don't go out, let me get him in here to fix the engines because the flames may travel. Oh my. We have issues, issues, issues. The shields are like refusing to get back up, but we can jump. Let's jump to the store. Stores are always nice safe zones, and then we'll try and get all these flames taken care of. We've got a repair arm, we've got crew, we've got an automated reloader. Now that's actually interesting because the automated reloader is one of the best weapons you can get, or one of the best mods you can grab in the game. I think I'm going to get rid of the anti-personnel drone. There it is. That's not a boarding drone. I think I called it a boarding drone earlier. I don't know why I did that. We're going to keep the defense drone just in case we need it in the future. Automated reloader, come join us. Get inside my hold. And so now, we want to think about our plan of attack. I think we're going to try and get the oxygen back up and running first. Let's maybe get him out of there. Now on the plus side, the O2... Oh no, not you. Get back in there. You guys are both kind of beat up. Never mind. Mantis, you go in there and help with the repair. And we've lucked out in that the flames actually use up the oxygen inside these little areas. So we may have a better chance based on that, but for right now, we just cannot seem to get that O2 repaired. Alright guys, this is it. Last chance. The last ditch effort to get the O2 back up and running. We are at 18%. Pretty soon people are going to be dying. It is all on you. And they made it just in time. Almost suffocated to death. The horrible things that happen over the course, like, can you imagine the post-traumatic stress this group would have after this run? Like, you would never sleep again. I would never have a positive dream ever again for the rest of my life. It would all just be horrible, miserable, all is lost. Just waking up screaming in the middle of the night. God. Part of me is sort of tempted to sell the Artemis, but we're not going to do that. Let's go to the store. I think a repair is probably a good plan, but let's get refueled first. And then repair. I'm happy with where our weapons technology is at, sorta. I'm not absolutely stoked about it, but I am happy about it. The pike beam does a lot of damage. It's a very cheap weapon. If we can get ourselves another burst laser, we are on course for endgame. But until we... Oh, I didn't fix that. What am I doing? Fix the doors. Let's go ahead and jump out there and do that. There we are. So our auto doors are all back up and ready to go. I may upgrade those in the future too. Give us the doors that flames have trouble getting past. Couple distress calls to be seen here. I may go bim bam bomb and then come up around. Bim bam bomb sounds like a terrible folk song. Like a folk song with like knee slapping going on. It looks like there's a distress call. Let's search for a ship, and it's damaged and abandoned. We get some free scrap and some missiles. Very cool. I'm going to turn off the med bay and get our shields back up and running before I make a terrible mistake. Let's jump to this distress call. Looks like we find a ship floating among the debris. They need fuel. We'll give them 2 fuel. Because we have a lot right now, but they update our map. You guys are dicks. I hate you. That is not what I wanted. I wanted scrap. Hard scrap. Well, I guess we'll continue adventuring. At least I know there's another store, maybe. I don't know. Terrible. And it looks like they want to surrender. We're going to take it. So they've surrendered and they've given us free stuff. That event right there is kind of a dick move. The enemy, like, people show up and they just surrender to you because they think you're bad guys. And you have the choice to be like, sure, whatever. And take their stuff, and that's what we just did. There's a distress beacon, and there's some people trying to maneuver through an asteroid field. They have no shields, and we can choose to shield them with our ship, or don't risk it. Since we've got full health, we're going to shield them. You try your best, but a stray rock hits the structure, destroys the ship, and you get the scrap remains, I guess. I'll take that. That's a net win for me. It's not a net win for the people on board, but I won right there. I feel okay about it. Anything else going on right here? A weapon pre-igniter. Ooh. I would sell just about anything to get that pre-igniter. What this does is when you get into the zone, the weapon pre-igniter makes it so your weapons are instantly ready to go the second you zone in. Such a great, great mod. It's one of those mods that if you have it, your life is so much easier. To the point where I'm tempted to sell just about anything to get it. Let's sell the Artemis for now. There's always more missiles later. That may be a mistake. I may regret that, but we're taking a gamble here. We'll sell the scrap recovery arm and the drone just to get there. Because this is a very, very good mod. So there it is. We have a weapon pre-igniter. You'll notice that I sold more stuff than I needed to. That's because we needed fuel. And we're going to buy all 7. Got loads of missiles. I wish I could sell them. We're going to trade them off the first time we get the opportunity. But for now, let's get on out of here. Let's see, we can sell some drone parts for scrap. We're going to do it. 6 drone parts for 24 scrap. There it is. We don't even have any drones to play around with, so why bother? And next sector. Looks like we're in number 5, and our firepower is lacking. Our firepower, not going to beat around the bush. Our firepower is lacking right now. But I think if we can get a good weapon drop, get a little bit more scrap, we should be okay. 43 scrap right there. What is there to worry about? Let's put the extra. I think I'm going to save the scrap for just a little bit, but I'd like to get shields 3. I think that's going to be our goal for this sector. Let's go ahead, and I'm actually going to try and hit all these over here. Let's see, a Zoltan transport vessel is a peace envoy. He has no weapons or shielding, and they want mercy. Let's hear them out. They say we are interested, and they've added a quest marker to help them find their brethren. Kind of just speed. We're not gonna make it to that quest marker. We're gonna have to just book to get over there. Okay, and so this is a trouble ship right here. This is a major, major trouble ship. The weapon pre-igniter is gonna give us an advantage though if we can land all of our shots, so let's go for it. And we didn't land all of our shots. Well, might as well fire the pike beam. It's not gonna get through. Yeah, and I think we are just boned right now. Unless we just get lucky and start dodging things like crazy. Let's go ahead and fire early here. And we just can't land the shots. That in and of itself is kind of the problem with getting rid of the... Oh, and now that our shields are down, we're even in worse state. There we go, triple hit. Let's go ahead and knock out everything that we can right now. I think the best shot is right there. So that's what we're gonna take. Let's go ahead and knock out all of that. I'm actually gonna have weapons help out with getting shields repaired so that we don't take too much more damage. Every second that the shields aren't up is another second we might get hit in our weapons dock. Which luckily hasn't been hit yet. Something to think about. And as soon as the shields are back up, let's go ahead and get those charged. Let's fire you. Their shields aren't out as much as I would like them to be. Let's go ahead and fire again here. Actually, no, let's wait a second. Okay, so there it is. 3 hits. And actually, I should probably think about hitting their cockpit. There it is. Okay, so now we're actually going to land every shot we make from here on out. Their weapons are also pretty damaged. We're not, you know, out of shit creek yet. We're definitely still floating down shit creek. But this is a nasty fight. A very, very nasty fight. We've managed to get some things repaired. Hopefully we don't get any new fires because the doors are busted. The weapon pre-igniter would have been really nice right there had it worked out the way I had wanted it to. Let's go ahead and fire again. 3 hits. And we may... I don't know what the best shot is here. Like something like that maybe? Would that hit all of them? We're not going to accept surrender here. We're actually just going to wipe them out. Because I think they're pretty much done anyways. Although their cockpit is repaired now, which could kind of cause us issues in the future with actually hitting them. There it is. And lasered. Goodbye. 39 scrap, 2 missiles, and 3 fuel. I don't know if that was worth it. It may or may not have been worth it. Little things to think about. Sometimes I get tunnel vision, but I really like pike beaming people. Pike beaming people is just one of... I wonder if the pike beam is named after Admiral Pike. Something that I just thought about. A little bit of a Star Trek reference right there. Let's go ahead and turn down the shields. We will power up. I wish we could recover their drones. I think there's a mod that lets you do that, where if you install it on your ship, you can recover drones after a fight. But I think it's only your own drones. Like, at no point can you recover their drones, which I think would be, like, the attractive feature that I would want. Jose, back to your post. Reinhardt, get yourself back to the weapons there. Jones the Mantis. God, that's such like an 80s action movie name. Jones. At least when it's a first name. I'd also want to think about buffing up. I'm going to get our shields wired up for now. And hopefully we'll get the scrap to get the extra energy in the next zone or two. I can't promise it's going to happen, but we can hope really hard. We can rub our fairy dust together. Get your fairy dust out, Nerd Castle. I know you've got it with you. Get it out, rub it together, and let's hope that this works out in our favor. I'm going to fire right now since the weapon pre-igniter. Oh, we got him. Okay. And down go a lot of the things that they love. They've got some big, big issues on board to think about. We didn't get the missile launcher, though, which is disappointing. If that missile launcher hits us... And there it is. Continue annihilating. Resist. Really? Well, I don't like the intonation of that argument. But we did reset the timer on his weapon, at least, by forcing it down and then back up. Firing again, and then the pike beam's gonna let him have it. We will not accept surrender. And you can see now, like this build with one more burst laser would be absolutely devastating, especially with the weapon pre-igniter, which gives you the open chance to just basically annihilate anything on their ship at the front of the battle. 44 scrap, 2 missiles, and some fuel. Very nice. We're gonna continue around the circle here, although part of me wants to go get repaired. Half health, we'll be fine. Let's live on the edge. Battle music, I can hear it already. No, this is the worst. No, 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 no. Absolutely not. And I don't even know what that terrifying looking gun is. But as it stands right now, let's go ahead and fight in this room. And let's just burst laser, I guess. We need to get that super shield down. This only fires one laser, I think, and I don't know what that does. I think it's a big ass like pike beam. I don't remember though. Let's get everybody in here to fight. We need people to like repel these guys right now. We'll find out what it does in just a moment, because I can assure you it's going to fire on us. Once we repel the boarding party, we're actually going to give them what for. We're actually going to hit them really, really hard. If they're going to fire it, they should have done it right there. I don't remember what that... I think it's the badass version of the pike beam. It takes like 4 power. It's super hardcore. Let's see if maybe... I don't know what I want to knock out right now. I think a pike beam across there would hit all the things that I would like to hit. Oh god, it went straight through double shields. That is horrific. How did it go through double shields? On multiple levels, that is just terrible. Okay, there it is. And I think I can get 4 departments if I go like so. Yeah, how do you like that? I've got one too, pal. You want to flash yours out? I'll put mine on the glass, to quote Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I will put it on the glass right now, just to show you that I have one too. You don't want to start this battle. Now that they're back up, we're going to open fire, and I'm hoping that little burst is all we're going to take from them. And that should be pretty much it for them. Yeah, there it is. Down they go, 36 scrap and some drone parts. What we really need to do at this point is to get 2 more energy there so that we can have shields 3. Another energy apparently because, oh never mind, the med bay. There we go. Everything's back to where it needs to be. Jose, back to your post. Jack, to the front. We have to get back to the island. And then let's have a look. Oh wow, we've got tons of time to kill. Well, since we've got so much time to kill, let's go to the exit. I'm gonna go get repaired first. Oh, we can actually get repaired right here for 2 scrap apiece. Yeah, repair 10 damage for me, pal. I would love that. And then let's hit, oh, there's 2 stores right there? Okay, let's hit that one. We're gonna go down, do a little semicircle, then we'll jump back up and in. We've got another enemy here. And he has got all kinds of goodies to bring up against us, but that's okay. He can go to hell, him and his goodies. 3 hits. We want to look for the best possible shot here. I think that's what I want. And so down it goes. We'll figure out what they're going to try and fix first, but I think we're off to a very, very good start here. Oh, they fixed the pilot. They did that first. Okay, they were smarter than I thought they'd be. I wasn't expecting them to fix that first, but all right. Challenge accepted. Oh, that was perfectly timed. It regenerated at just the right moment to block that beam. I was wondering if that would happen while I had it paused, but I guess it did. They don't really have anything to bring against us, so we're just gonna keep firing, and as soon as it goes through, it looks like they're tying up a lot of their energy on that drone. If they had like one more, if they had a missile launcher, this would be a very, very unfortunate fight, but it's not. Missed with that final one. God. And to think he's maxed out almost. Sometimes I feel like being maxed out doesn't matter at all for your gunnery. Basically right now we're just fishing for a triple hit, so I apologize if this is going to be long and drawn out. It wasn't my intention. There it is. Alright. Let's knock everything back out again. Since we've knocked out their cockpit, they can't actually jump out of the system. They've repaired their weapons now. And I think they're actually going to repair their shields next. That's okay, because they've got to repair their cockpit first. We just landed all 3 shots. So what I'd prefer to do now is something like that. We're not going to accept the surrender, largely because we don't have to. They're actually pretty much up against the bleachers right now, and we are just letting them have it like crazy. Their engine is delayed. Hopefully we'll get another shot off before it's too late. Let's go ahead and burn them. There it is. Very nice. We cut that one close. I was worried they were going to escape, but we got them. I think... what else do we need right now? Well, we need to save our scrap, I guess. Oh, we had that quest down there. I completely forgot about it. I don't think we're going to make it now. I think I could go here, here, and then here, but getting back before... well, I kind of dicked around too long. That was my fault. It's okay, though. Federation scum! We've waited a long time for this, and he's going to board us. Just got to wait and see where he's going to board us at. Right there. That's actually okay. Assuming he doesn't go to the right. If he goes to the right, it's actually really, really bad. And there's no way to really drain the... well, I guess I can drain the oxygen out. I can guarantee they don't go this way, at least. So that's what I'm going to do. The weapon's are already pre-ignited. Let's go ahead and fire. We didn't get a triple hit there, so we have problems. Especially given how many missiles he has right now. He's missed with everything thus far, though. Burst lasers back up. Let's fire. There it is. Exactly what we were hoping for. And down go all of their systems in one quick felling burst. And I forgot to turn, unfortunately. Being who I am, I forgot to turn everything back on. Unfortunately, their shields are still back up. I need the med bay back online, actually. So let's get that back on. I can't really... I guess I'll put the gunnery guy over here to help. And as soon as the weapons are back up, we'll kind of give them the middle finger again. Please don't hit me in my weapons. Okay, good. You can hit me anywhere you want, but not my weapons. Hitting me in the weapons is like hitting somebody in the ear. It just kind of sucks. It's just a terrible thing to do. Let's go ahead and fire. They are still completely and totally locked down, so all 3 of these shots should land. And then from there, we're going to do our best to melt... oh, I don't know. It might actually be a better plan to melt everything over here. There it is. And so now they have tons and tons of problems. Ew! What do I do now? We have a number of issues that I should have opened that front and center. God. Okay, you two get in here and fight fires, I guess. I can't afford to take you off firefighting duty, because if that jumps to the engine room, we have yet another problem. I'm hoping that I've lit some fires in their building, too. I'm sorry, in their ship. I don't know why I keep calling their ship a building. Oh, good. They're sending firebombs over like the assholes that they are. Let's fire one more time. Because I would love to see the remainder of their weapons go offline. Sir, we're not going to be doing that. God. Just the worst possible combination of everything that could go wrong right now. Gotta wait a minute till the pike beam's up. I was gonna fire, but... okay, so problems being what they are... let's go ahead and get everybody back to the med bay. Let's handle ourselves a problem here. And let's think about possible tactical solutions to this, because we're already way down on oxygen. Now, there is the bonus that this may burn itself out, because it's a pretty big fire. We got the scrap, but we don't have the engines. Hopefully those 4 fires burn themselves out. Let me get everybody back up to full health, and then what we'll do is we'll send these guys over here to fix this. Yeah, the fire put itself out. That's what I was hoping for. Panic and crisis not quite averted, but definitely... the other problem that we're going to run into is they might not be able to repair the O2 in time. Come on, guys. There it is. They repaired the O2 in time. They're my heroes. So now we should start recovering from this abysmal situation. We're still losing oxygen across all the forward decks, but nothing that I'm gonna completely get my panties in a bunch about, because I wore my special Faster Than Friday panties. I did wear them. They've got the frillies and the lace, so that I'll play a little bit better. I feel like I play better. They're Star Trek too, so they've got kind of Captain Kirk on the bum. They've got Spock in the front with the frillies running down the sides. I want to give you guys a mental image here because I have to live with it, so why shouldn't you? Let's get in here and see if we can't repair this last little pocket. We definitely need more burst lasers, is the point that I think we're at right now. I think if I can get myself a bit more of the burstiness in the next little bit, we should be absolutely just squared away to be fine. We've got the doors fixed. Let's get everything closed off. Let's restore our oxygen levels. I'm not going to jump out till we're at least at 85%. Are you okay? Let's get you healed too. I didn't realize that my pilot was wounded. Okay, so we'll put him back in the in the engine room. There we are. Everything's looking okay. Let's give this another couple seconds, like a nice little 10 count to get from 75 on back up to 85. And once we're there, definitely have some things to think about. We got to get ourselves strapped away with some new weapons pretty soon. I'm going to go to the store and we're going to hope that they have burst lasers. If they don't, we're going to be sad, absolutely sad pandas. Our panditude will definitely be under assault. They don't have weapons. They have a bunch of drones. So, where that puts us is I'm going to actually spend that on repairs. I can't really guarantee how much worse things are going to get in the next sector. We are getting towards the end of the game. We may also want to think about putting points into dodge. So there we are, another point into dodge. That's giving us a 35% chance to dodge anything fired at us. Mantis or pirate? I'm gonna go with pirate because we're not equipped to deal with borders right now. Alright, so we have to go through a nebula this time. That's gonna be fun because nebulas have the tendency to disrupt your shields. And they don't disrupt the enemy's shields as far as I understand, so that's a big problem. A Federation ship is hiding here, and we can help them. Let's attempt to follow and help them. And it looks like we got ourselves a free Engie out of it, actually, so we managed to rescue somebody. I'm happy about that result. I'm gonna try and get out of this nebula very, very quickly. I don't like nebulas. They make me feel very, very nervous. You can lose like 4 energies. What is this? A rebel ship far away from the beacon. He's stationed to look for us. It looks like he has missiles and lasers. 2 lasers. 2 lasers in the missile. Oh, and he can teleport. Let's try and remain... Yeah, we're gonna remain concealed until we're absolutely out of here. Let's hit these 2 locations, see if we can't get enough scrap to maybe... Damn. Absolute damn. On the plus side, this is gonna hurt them. Let's go ahead and flood everything right now. And in the interest of... He's only got 1 laser. He's got a missile. But I don't think that beam can go through double shields, so we'll get rid of the shield. There's a little bit of a puzzle game at play here. With our next, I like how he's grouped up though. We should be able to get really, really high damage hits off on him. Let's fire at anything for now. And we got lucky on the first go. What can I damage? I'm gonna play the pick a target game here. And so now he's partially wounded. His weapons are still up, but we'll deal with that as the time goes along. He's actually going to have fires to deal with just like we are. Hit our O2 straight off the bat, so let's go ahead and get that handled. Looks like they managed to get their shields healed up, but that's alright. Because on the plus side, their cockpit is completely and totally damaged. So we're just going to keep on blasting. And now they've hit our engines. The fire didn't land anywhere dangerous. I hope that their fire did land somewhere dangerous. This tends to favor you a little bit versus the AI because as you can see, they don't actually have vents. So we should be alright. Let me put my Manus back in his place of superiority. Send the Engie over here to maybe help out a little bit with the engine repairs. About to take another missile. Hopefully not to the weapons. We're not going to accept the surrender. The missile went somewhere benign, so that's fine. But they actually managed to repair their cockpit somehow, even though I was putting fire on it. Not sure how they managed that one. Ooh, and our engine is actually, or I'm sorry, our pilot's now down. Luckily, they seem to suck at dodging, so that should be our last burst, and down they go. Solar flare imminent. We haven't managed to get everything. Oh, never mind. Okay. So send the NG over here to help out with that. Let me open those up too, just in case something gets knocked out. Get him over here to help with that, so that our shields don't get broken. Okay, so that's repaired. We can now jump. Let's close everything off, but I think we can buy ourselves a second here. Oh my god. Fires are just... I don't know why we're building our ships out of just like matchsticks. But for whatever reason, I don't know what inspired them to build the ships out of things like 2,000% flammable. Apparently our ship is just made out of gasoline, like matches, and it's just completely and totally everything flammable you could ever think of. And I'm running out of things that I could say are cordite. There we go. Cordite's flammable. We've got an automated... Can I have multiple automated reloaders? I doubt that I can. This place kind of sucks. I'm not really happy about the selection of items here. Let's go ahead and deal with our onboard issues first. I thought that meant there was going to be another solar flare. And I was like, no! Stop flaring me! Stop it right now. Why? Why, son? Why have you... He's using like his long-range sun sniper rifle just to get at me. Aiming down the pipe at me. Let's fix this thing. We do have some scrap to play around with. God, we have such a huge shield repair to do. So disappointing. But then again, it's alright because we've got to regenerate a lot of oxygen anyways too. As soon as this is done, yada da da. Come on now, guys. I do wish, like, you know how in Mountain Blade you can hold down, oh, I think it's Alt and spacebar and it speeds up the game? I wish you could do that here. Because sometimes I find myself just sitting around repairing forever. Okay, so we're good there. Let's have a look. I don't think we've picked up anything to sell. I would absolutely 100% love to get another burst laser, any laser of any kind at this point, actually. And I almost kind of want to get myself pre-ready for it, since we haven't seen it yet. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So we'll start buying weapon outlooks, or I'm sorry, loadouts first, before we start doing anything else. I may be choosing falsely there, but you can never be quite sure you're making the right choice in this game, believe me. Let's go ahead and go off to the right here. Even though there's a distress signal up there, I don't think we're going to have time to deal with it. We're not going to send our crew to slavers, although... Oh good, they have crappy weaponry. What else could we hope for? Is the pike beam going to hurt that? Let's try the pike beam here. Oh, it does! The pike beam actually hurts the super... Okay, cool. I'm glad that I tried that out then. It is incredible how fast our weapons are charging at this point. I just want to bring that up. The pre-ignition is just like, wow. Wow, what is that? God, that laser just fired like 400 bursts. Calm down, Tommy Gun Tom. Jeez. Tommy Gun Tom. That's a terrible name for somebody that has a Tommy gun. Like Tommy Gun Trish. There we go. Let's see if maybe we can hurt them that way. There we are. That was a pretty good shot for us. Not bad at all. I liked that shot. That shot made me happy. It made me happy in my wonderful red shirt. Let's go ahead and fire another burst there. That's already down. And then we'll try and hit everything they have, actually. We take a slave, and now we're gonna kill you, sorry. Sorry, slave ship, we don't need another slave. Like, we've already got people just standing around doing nothing. My payroll is woefully inefficient right now. Pike beam ready to go, and there it goes. Cut him to ribbons, 63 scrap. I definitely want that way more than I want one of your slaves. Let's go ahead and put one more into there in the hopes that we find a beam before the end of this. If we don't, we're going to be in a very sore situation. It's definitely going to be kind of a no-lube spot, unfortunately. Oh, we're almost out of fuel, too. I didn't even notice that. Where'd all this fuel go? Oh, this dude's about to get cooked. I'm about to cook this ship. We are going to take a missile first, though. To the shields, no less. ahead and get the Engie in here to help with it. Engie? The Engie's name is Matthew. So now this ship is just a victim waiting to happen. What I would prefer to do is maybe go something like that, and then we'll also fire with the burst laser right there. There we go. Do a little bit of damage. Oh, our weapons are wounded. Balls. Well, we need to fix that first, I guess. Oh, because of the extra energy, we can still fire it. Take that, cloaking douchebag. Sounds like a Mother Goose fairy tale. Cloaking douchebag. Modified for the future. And down he goes. And missile now! Okay, good. The missile missed. Fantastic. It was a literal missile. I flinched when I did that one too. If you flinched, I flinched too, so don't feel too bad. Let's go ahead and get ourselves healed up. We'll fix the shields. There's nothing to fear from this asteroid belt right now. I don't actually think I can fight the final boss with our current loadout. That's the really, really sad part. I think if we actually get to the final boss, we are toast. Which means I may just like suicide something. Let's see here. Who goes where? Reinhardt, you go there, you go there. Very nice. Maybe... let's go over to here, I guess. Looks like somebody was talking trash over the intercom when we tried to call him out on a fight. That was the storyline, basically. We're not gonna send anybody. Oh, Space Jesus. Look at how many weapons they have. That's not very comforting. Luckily, they're all energy weapons, and we do have a lot of shields. So we may actually... are they teleporting aboard? Oh, dick move. Okay, well, let's flood everything. We don't know where they're gonna land just yet. Okay, they're in the med bay. Alas, I don't really have anything I can take power out of at the moment. I suppose... ooh, that's a bad decision too. Let's not do O2. I guess 1 out of engines so that we can have that. Let's shoot our shot here. Yep, and that's about the result I expected. Without all 3 rounds colliding, we are in a very bad position. So the first round has landed. Okay, we've got him now. So what we want to do at this point is kind of... well... I want to go after their shields, but I think going after their pilot's probably a better choice. There it is. And so now they're out of our face a little bit. They've lost a weapon. Their pilot is down. That means we're going to land every shot we make, and it's going to depend what they decide to fix first here. Let's go ahead and get all the bulkheads secured. Close everything off, and I keep clicking everything manually. It's because I'm anal about stuff like that. And now that that's done, we're just going to wait for things to charge up. They do have a lot of weapons to bring against us. Which is always unnerving. They just fixed that instantly. Did you see that? Weird. Sometimes I just want to call foobar on things. I can't fathom how they fixed that with 2 people when it was under direct fire, but, you know, what do I know about anything? Now, we kind of have to worry... yeah, exactly, about that happening. Our maxed out ballistics guy missing every single shot. We can actually turn that off now, too, and give ourselves a bit more dodge. There we go. They want a slave. I don't think we're going to take it. I think we're actually going to try and take them out before it's too late. We lost a little bit of our weaponry there. Somehow they managed to laser us. But we've got limited time to play with here. Alright, so now. There it is. Alright, lovely. Definitely coming down to the second there. We've got a little bit of extra scrap. We're going to go to the next zone. God. I want to save scrap so that I have enough to buy a laser. But like I really do feel like I need to be putting something into dodge too, since we're not going to be able to rely on any type of possible weapons. So I'm going to leave it where it's at, but... let's see here. Mercenaries, they don't look like they have anything scary. Let's fight them. Ah, damn, they teleport. Why is it that everything teleports on this run? Almost everything is just spidering around the galaxy like crazy, just jumping wherever they want to be. Flood it all. And wherever they land, that is where they shall die. Is it just one guy? That's like the most pointless boarding ever. Why even bother? There. Ooh, that was like the best shot I could have asked for. That was amazing. I'm so happy right now. Looks like he went the opposite direction that I wanted him to. But we disabled some weaponry. Life is good. Nothing to kind of weep about. Let's go ahead and close all the bulkheads since obviously I don't think we're going to be taking anything anytime soon. Because we're going to hit all 3 shots now, I'm going to put those squarely on the pilot every single time. And we're just going to see what kind of damage we can do here. A lot is the answer to that. And then in the next couple seconds, we should be able to get everything back up and kill this guy. So you can see how this is a very effective build. Even when you've got bad weaponry, like even if you can't get things to drop that you need, it's still a very strong build just with these 2 weapons. So you do have options. The pike beam coming across early, I very much wish that we had better weapons. Another burst laser 2 would just make my life right now. We would have a fairly reasonable shot at the final boss if we had a burst laser 2. But up until we get that, just not thinking our chances are looking so great. Is everybody all healed up? Yeah, let's send Reinhardt back to here. As of right now, I'm going to tentatively say this is probably not going to be a win. But don't take that as me being just ridiculously negative. Well, an ion bomb. I will take that. Not a terrible decision, actually. Not terrible. Let's give ourselves another energy. I can work with this, I think. I think I can work with the ion bomb. I don't know specifically how long. It deals 4 ion damage, which is really substantial. I mean, super substantial. Let's have a look here and see if there's anything better in the tooltip. Yeah, there's nothing better in the tooltip, but I think we can make this work. We've got one more sector with which to get ourselves straightened out. Got a distress call from over here. I'm gonna hope we find a store soon too, because our fuel is looking pretty piss poor. Let's investigate. It looks like he's a crazy guy. Sure, why not? He kills one of our crew before we could substitute him out. It's our pilot. Or I'm sorry, our engine guy. That's really bad going into the final fight. It was worth a shot. I decided to gamble. There is a store right there. So let's hit that next. We'll go here first. And if I get blown up right here, I'm going to be very sort of upset. Oh good, nothing. Empty space. What do we have here? A breach missile, an ion blast. The ion blast is actually a really cool weapon to think about. So let's sell the ion bomb. We'll buy the ion blast. Only 3 fuel, really. Ew, that's really bad. So think about fixing some stuff here. We need 1 more power to weapons, which is going to be expensive as hell. And we need a little bit more to there. Well, we're just going to have to tighten our belts and pull it together. Oh, there's another store right here. Well, I guess we'll hit this spot. We do need that other store to buy fuel. I don't want to make it sound like, oh, look, I can trade scrap for fuel right here. Well, let's get 6 fuel then for that, because that's like the best price we're going to see, I think. Let's go to the distress call and hope for really good... Actually, let's swing back this way. My foot falls asleep a lot while I play this game, and I don't know why. Drone parts, no! This is really not what we need right now, actually. We're having very bad luck with the final events. We need to get this ion blast functional, like, right now. To the point that... yeah, we need a lot of... Hey, there's a little bit. That'll help out. Let's see if we can go to the distress call and get something else there. We need at least like 130 scrap to make this work. We'll give them fuel. And they update our map. Dicks. Just terrible. The worst RNG on Earth. Well, we're boned. We don't actually have the weapons to go into the final fight right now, so we are hosed, friends. We're going into the last stand, and we're pretty much toast. I mean, the Ion Blast, I suppose, I could get rid of the Pike Beam. I don't know. Maybe we'll kill something in between here and there. But we definitely can't fight him yet. With 4 shields, I don't have any tangible chance to get through. Oh my god. Okay, so let's get rid of the Pike Beam, give ourselves the Ion Blast. We're gonna put that on auto fire on his shields. It's up every 4 seconds, so it should work out okay. Assuming we can hit. Try to time that so it would get hit by the Ion Blast all by itself. There we go. So we've got 2 shields down. There we go. So now we should be in fairly decent shape to take some actual shots at this guy. God, the most accurate guy ever. Like, are you serious right now? Okay, let's maybe see if we can get this repaired. I knew I was wishfully thinking. Just one of those runs where we just don't have that one piece of the puzzle that we need. Which is really unfortunate. The Ion Blast back up. I'm not going to give it up yet because we've still got a chance, but I mean, we're eating a lot of fire right now. Let's go ahead and get that back up and running. Yeah, there it is. We almost made it. We made it to the last stand again, at least. So, my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here for Faster Than Friday. I look forward to seeing you guys next week. I hope you enjoy the series. If people don't enjoy it, we'll probably discontinue it. But if it continues to get the views and people are still liking it and people are still commenting, I have no problem continuing it. I mean, this is a fun game. I get disappointed when I miss out on like that one thing that I needed to get through. And as you saw, it was like 60 scrap right there. It makes me wonder that like 2 fights that I missed, those were the ones that I needed to get to where I needed to go, but it was just too big of a risk at the time. I think reevaluating the run, there are a few things I would have done a little bit differently, but we're still doing pretty well every single time we go. I want you guys to be present the first time I win, but I can't control it. I would love for you guys to be the first ones here, but, you know, wish in one hand and pee in the other. I guess I'll do that the PG version. I'll see you guys next time. Take care out there, everybody, and farewell!